Have you noticed that every time when you are near a breakthrough, you realize that suddenly you start feeling sleepy, tired, and sluggish. You are lazy, unproductive. You just want to spend your time sleeping. It's like this wave of sleep just comes over you. I want to tell you that that feeling of tiredness, of sleepiness is not random. The enemy uses sleep to block you from entering into your season of breakthrough. You might be thinking that your body is just tired, but no, he is sedating you to sleep so that you should never awaken and realize that you are at a brink, at a verge of a breakthrough. So today I will be showing you how Satan uses sleep to block your breakthrough. Let's get right into it. Number one, I need everybody to know that there is a huge difference between sleep and spiritual slumber. When the enemy wants to block you from accessing your breakthrough, he's going to ensure that there is this wave of spiritual slumber that hits your body. Okay, so in the book of Proverbs chapter 6, this is where we are told that a little sleep here, a little sleep there, then poverty comes creeping. Okay, so what the enemy does is he causes your sleep to turn into slumber, right? And when we talk about slumber, this is when you are not aware. Okay, slumber is basically a state of unawareness. You are asleep. You are not alert. Okay, so there is spiritual slumber where your spirit is fast asleep, no discernment, dull. Then there is this spiritual slumber that actually takes over your body, where you can't wake up for prayer, you can't do anything, you're unproductive, you only sleep, watch movies, sleep, watch movies. That is spiritual slumber that the enemy causes to come to you so that you are not aware of the season you are in. So when the enemy causes you to be under spiritual slumber, this causes you to what? To miss divine timing and strategy. So the whole point of the devil causing you to be sedated with this spiritual slumber is for you to miss divine timing. Okay, for you to miss alignment, for you to miss the opportunity that God has set before you so that you can tap into that breakthrough. Because when you're spending time asleep, you are losing time. Time is being spent with you asleep. And I want you to know that you are not lazy. You're not sluggish. It's not that you don't have any motivation to work. It's not that. It is definitely Satan using sleep as a strategy, as a tool to block you from entering into your season of breakthrough. Number two, so when Satan uses sleep to block you from your breakthrough, this is to cause you to miss divine moments. Okay, so in the book of Matthew chapter 26 from verse 40 to 41, this is when the Lord Jesus took the disciples to the mountain, to the garden rather, when he was going to pray. And whenever he came back from the garden, he found the disciples sleeping, and he asked them, couldn't you at least watch with me for an hour? Then he said, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. So what had overtaken the disciples, it was slumber. That hour was not the hour to sleep. That is the hour where they should have been tarrying in the spirit, positioning themselves. The Lord Jesus says something profound to Peter. He says, Peter, I have prayed for you because the enemy wanted to sift you like wheat. And the enemy would have succeeded, but the prayers of Jesus diverted that attack. Remember, Peter denied Jesus, and after denying Jesus, he was embarrassed. He left ministry and went back to his fishing business. So in these defining moments, the enemy causes this sleep to come over you so that you can miss divine moments. So that moment when God should be revealing to you what you should be doing, who you should be partnering with, who you should be meeting, you will not have the capacity to download that revelation from heaven, because instead of praying, you are oversleeping. You are not utilizing and maximizing the night prayer watches, which are 9 p.m., 12 p.m. Well, it starts from 6 p.m., 9 p.m., midnight, 3 a.m. So instead of choosing one of these watches and watching, you are sleeping. Okay, so this is to cause you to miss defining moments. So every time when you are about to enter into a season that will change your life, the enemy will cause you to be overtaken by this spiritual slumber that weakens your body. So when you are under this spiritual slumber, demonic slumber, this causes you to miss heaven's time and the release from heaven. So a lot of people who struggle with what we call stagnation, delay, it didn't start with the enemy shutting all doors, and it didn't start with that. It all started with the little habit of oversleeping, where the enemy knew that I am not going to cause a drastic attack to happen. Rather, what I'm going to do is I am going to ensure that I cause this individual to just sleep a little longer. Let me give them a wave of sleep. They don't understand why are they tired. Even after they sleep for 8 hours, they wake up, they are tired. So that they sleep and sleep and sleep and sleep and sleep. And in their heads, they're thinking that, oh, I'm so tired. I don't know what's going on. They don't realize that this is demonic slumber that has taken over you to cause you to miss the timing of heaven and the revelation and download that heaven wants to give you in that particular season. Remember, when God gives you tips and God gives you strategies, this is to propel you to bring speed into your life. But when you miss this mystery and revelation from heaven, this is why you're going to see things like delay and stagnation. Okay. Number 3, when the devil causes you to have this demonic slumber that takes over your body, it is to cause you, or rather to hinder you from spiritual awakening. Okay, so in the book of Romans chapter 13 verse 11, it says that it is time to wake up from your sleep, for the time of salvation is near. So the advancement of your physical life is predicated by you being awakened in the spirit, because you need to know what is currently happening in the spirit. You need to know where the spirit is moving, what is the calendar of the spirit, because based on that, you will have an advantage over the physical realm. In the Bible, we are told about the sons of Issachar that they knew the times and seasons. And because of that information, them knowing the times and seasons, they had dominion over the other tribes of Israel, meaning that whenever you are aware spiritually of the times and the seasons, what the Lord is doing, the calendar of the spirit, this gives you dominion and superiority over your own generation, or the field you work in, your career, your workspace, because you have strategically positioned yourself based on what is happening in the spirit. So when the enemy causes you to slumber, he is preventing you from the spiritual awakening that will help you to move towards destiny and to move with speed. So when now you lose the opportunity to be spiritually awakened, this then causes you to miss the kairos. Whenever we talk about kairos, this is heaven's window. This is God's time, superimposing the time of earth. A good example in the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 3 says that under the sun, there is a time and a season for everything. So let's make an example that according to the time, the chronos, the time of this earth, maybe you were supposed to be a multi-millionaire at the age of 30. But when the kairos now, the God's time, which is heaven's time, when that time now superimposes the timing of this realm, What you should have achieved at the age of 30, you can achieve it at the age of 25. However, the enemy knows that this is one strategy that God always uses to give his children divine speed. So in order for them not to tap into that divine revelation for divine speed, he causes them to slumber spiritually and prevent them from awakening from, or let me say, having a spiritual awakening. So the Kairos, which is the heaven's window of time, open. I want you to understand that it opens for a short period of time. So when it opens for a short period of time, it means that there is a time where this window is going to close. Now, what should have taken you based on Kairos, maybe taking you 6 months now, can take you 5 years, because you missed this divine moment that was opened. In the book of John chapter 5, we hear about the angel that would come and stir the water, and whoever that would get in first would be healed. What is that called? It's called Kairos, a defining moment that is only available for a short period of time. So the enemy, when he causes you to oversleep and to be tired and sluggish, he knows that this demonic slumber that he has placed upon you is going to cause you to miss defining moments, defining seasons. As a result, you miss your breakthrough. The very thing you were praying for, it seems as if like God did not hear your prayer, or your prayer bounced back from the ceiling. And that is not the case. When you were busy oversleeping, when you were not being productive, spending the entire day asleep, not waking up and praying and observing the watches, the enemy knew that he was causing you to not have sensitivity to the timing. So this is why people end up in delay and stagnation. So for you to overcome delay and stagnation, you need to use and utilize this divine speed Kairos moment that God opens for you when you're about to enter into your breakthrough. So let me know on the comment section, what did you learn? Have you been realizing that you have been lately like asleep, you are tired, you're feeling sluggish, especially because it's the end of the year. So there's this end year fatigue, so that you can have your guards down and not be well prepared for 2026. So let me know in the comment section. I cannot wait to read your comments as we learn together the spiritual teaching and know and learn how to overcome these little habits that seem normal, but behind the scenes, or if you open the spiritual eye, you will realize that these are the enemy's tactics to bring you down and stop you from your season of manifestation. My name is Sister Joy, the girl behind Jesus Joy. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Join this beautiful family as we learn these spiritual teachings together. So I will see you on yet another spiritual teaching. From me to you, it's Shalom.